Konica.
It's 1998. OK Computer is in record shops on CD, and Titanic is still playing in cinemas. If you wanted a digital camera, this one would have set you back £600. That's well over £1,000 in today's money, and delivered one glorious megapixel of resolution. At the time, that would nearly buy you a 1.8 litre Golf GTI in excellent condition. But you'd somehow convince yourself that you'd finally be free of buying 35mm film and somehow justify buying it. Konica released the Q-M100 first, and then a year later they gave us this, the V version. What does the V stand for? Value? Vegan? Probably just vague, because the main improvements over the original model were better flesh colours and improved white balance. Physically, the camera is a silvery grey rubberised block. It has the kind of look that screams, I own a CD-ROM drive. If you turn on the tiny 1.8-inch LCD screen on the back, you can practically watch the battery meter drain in real time. Seriously, if you leave the screen on for more than 3 minutes, you can hear the batteries crying for mercy inside. The real crown jewel of this camera is the lens. It's a fixed 6mm f2.8 Hexanon lens. Hexanon glass is legendary among vintage film photographers for being pin sharp with beautiful contrast. And here it is, trapped in a digital prison, trying its absolute best to peep through onto a tiny 1/3 of an inch CCD sensor. The real comedy begins when you actually press the shutter button. You press it, the camera takes the photo, an LCD egg timer appears. This is the camera transferring 1 megapixel of data, about 400 kilobytes, to the compact flash card. It's a process that feels like it's actually timing the boiling of a real egg. If you're used to modern cameras that can shoot 20 frames a second, using the Q-M100V is a spiritual test of patience. It forces you to slow down, not because you want to be all mindful and artistic, but because the hardware physically will not allow you to be impatient. You get one shot, and then you have enough time to contemplate your life choices before you can take another. I bought mine from a charity shop and it had some photos already on the compact flash card. If you know any of the people in these photos, do me a favour and don't tell them. Of course, with only 1 megapixel to play with, you can't exactly zoom in and crop. If you try to zoom into a photo, you're immediately greeted by a mosaic of giant pixels and JPEG artifacting. Anyway, here are my test shots from an overcast morning with the camera. Because it's a CCD sensor, the dynamic range is non-existent. The sky in almost every shot is completely blown out to solid white, and the shadows turn into a muddy black void. The old CCD behaves more like slide film. It loves bright daylight. It grabs blues and reds and saturates them in a way that feels organic and heavy. It has a sort of nostalgic crunch to it. It's not good by modern standards, but it is incredibly characterful. If you want a camera that lets you take 20 frames a second of a pigeon in flight from a mile away, this is absolutely not the camera for you. It takes about 3 days just to write a single photo to the CF card. You can find these on eBay occasionally for about £30 to £50, although people are starting to catch on to these early CCD cameras for their late 90s aesthetic. If you went back to 1998 and told someone that in the future the cool kids would reject 50 megapixel cameras to shoot on a device that looks like a high-end asthma inhaler, they'd have locked you up. It is completely impractical, it is painfully slow, it eats batteries like popcorn and it looks like a medical device, but for some reason I can't explain, I kind of love it.